Hi, my name is Emily Zeilberger, and today I'll be talking about the Mesic Hardwood Forest. The Mesic Hardwood Forest is a well-developed, closed canopy forest dominated by hardwood trees on mesic soils in areas sheltered from fire. They typically have a diverse assemblage of deciduous and evergreen tree species in the canopy and midstory, shade-tolerant shrubs, and a sparse ground cover. Drought and salt tolerance are usually minimal. This is what a typical Mesic hardwood forest would look like. The location of the Mesic hardwood forests is predominantly in the Florida Panhandle, south to the Central Peninsula. They are most commonly found within the inland portions of the state, located in North and Central Florida and along the high ridges of the peninsula. As you can see from this photo, the Mesic hardwood forests are a light green color distributed across the state. As far as the topography, they are typically occurring on rolling moist and mesic hills, slopes above river floodplains, in smaller areas on the sides of sinkholes, and occasionally on rises within floodplains. The soils are generally sandy clays or clayey sands with substantial organic and sometimes calcareous material. They have higher nutrient levels than the sandy soils prevalent in most of Florida. The moisture retention properties of the clays and layers of the leaf mulch conserve soil moisture and create the mesic conditions. As far as the hydrology of the Mesic hardwood forests, they are usually vulnerable to alterations in the natural hydrological regime of the surrounding or adjacent wetlands. The sources of water to the Mesic hardwoods are rainfall, river inundation, overland flow, and seepage from adjacent uplands and discharge from deep aquifers. The rate of water loss from the Mesic hardwood, and so the hydro period, the duration of the flooding, is variable. Hurricanes are another irregular natural process by which the canopy opens and the forest canopy regenerates. The tree list of the Mesic hardwood forests include the American hornbeam, the American sycamore, black walnut, the cabbage palm, the eastern hop hornbeam, eastern red cedar, the laurel oak, the live oak, the pignut hickory, mockernut hickory, saw palmetto, sugarberry, sweet gum, southern magnolia, white ash, and the spruce pine. The overstory includes the southern magnolia, the pignut hickory, sweet gum, live oak, laurel oak, white ash, white oak, loblolly pine, sugarberry, spruce pine, and the tulip tree. The midstory is comprised of the American hornbeam. The American hornbeam has bark that is brownish gray in color, smooth and very tight on the trunk and branches, with spiral around the trunk. The leaves. The American sycamore has smooth, whitish, flaky bark and is distinct for its palmate leaves with 3 or 5 lobes. It is one of the largest trees in the eastern deciduous forests. It can tolerate wet and compacted soil. The black walnut has bark that is dark gray-brown to almost black, with rounding, intersecting ridges and deep furrows. The fruit is a round globular nut about 2 inches in diameter. Leaves are pinnately compound and alternate in arrangement, and the black walnut is unfortunately one of the scarcest and most coveted hardwoods, in complete extinction in certain areas. The cabbage palm has bark that is tough, gray to brown in color, which splits vertically with shallow furrows circling the stem. It has a straight, clear trunk up the tree. Leaves are known as fronds, 9 to 14 feet long, 4 to 6 feet of which is the stout, unarmed petiole. The cabbage palm is known as the Florida state tree. The eastern hop hornbeam has bark that is light brown and peels into long, thin strips, almost looking like that of a cat scratching the tree. Leaves are sharply and doubly toothed along the margin, 2 to 4 inches long, and elliptical to oblong in shape. The fruit cluster consists of a branch of overlapping leafy bracts containing a number of flattened ribbed nutlets. This tree, along with the American hornbeam, dominates the San Falasco Hammock Preserve. The eastern red cedar has very thin, reddish-brown bark that peels off in long shred-like strips. The leaves are alternately arranged in 4 ranks, so stems appear square. They are dark green, minute, and scale-like, covering the twigs like shingles. The laurel oak has bark that is dark brown, tinged with red and roughened by small, close scales. Leaves are 2 to 5 inches long, varying from obovate to narrowly elliptical to diamond-shaped, with a simple and alternate arrangement. The laurel oak, as you can tell from this photo, is a common ornamental because of its fast growth and pleasing appearance. The live oak has dark brown to reddish brown bark, thick with shallow furrows and rough ridges. The leaf is broadly elliptical, simple and alternately arranged. Twigs are slender and gray and end with multiple terminal buds. The pignut hickory has bark that is interlacing, crisscrossing, and in a diamond-like pattern. Leaves are elliptical, dark green above, about 15 to 40 centimeters long. They have an alternate arrangement, are compound and odd pinnate. The fruit is a nut borne in a rounded ellipsoid husk, as you can see from the photo, about 2.5 to 6 centimeters long, smooth, usually splitting partway to the base when it's mature. The mockernut hickory has bark that is dark gray, hard, close and deeply furrowed, often cross-furrowed or netted. The leaves are varying obovate to oblong in outline, hairy, and strong-scented. They are odd pinnately compound leaves with an alternate arrangement. The fruit is a nut with an oval or slightly pear-shaped with 4 to 6 ridges. The saw palmetto has bark that is rough, covered with reddish-brown old leaf bases and brown fibers. The leaves are fan-shaped, deeply divided into numerous segments, yellowish-green to green in color. Petioles are armed with a sharp, curved spines reminiscent of a saw blade. The fruit is an oblong drupe, yellowish or orange at first, turning black at maturity. The sugarberry has bark that is pale gray and covered with prominent warty projections. Leaves are thin and smooth, light green on both sides. Entire margins, or a few teeth toward the long pointed apex, and the leaves are simple and alternate in arrangement. The fruits, as you can tell, are a fleshy, rounded shape with an orange-red color, about 6 to 8 millimeters long, appearing in the fall. The sweet gum has dark gray bark, roughened by corky scales, later becoming deeply furrowed. They have star-shaped leaves with about 5 to 7 pointed leaflets, 4 to 7 inches across, and are very aromatic. They have a simple and alternate arrangement. The fruits are made up of many capsules with projecting spine-like tips. They frequently hang on the tree by long swinging stalks late into the winter. The southern magnolia has dark gray and smooth bark, becoming furrowed and scaly as the tree matures. Leaves are oblong and slightly turned at the edges, shiny dark green on top of the leaf, with fine rust-colored hairs below. The fruit is a rounded or oval cone-like structure from 2 to 4 inches long, made up of many segments. The tree is noted for its large, beautiful flowers that appear in intervals in the summer months. The white ash has bark that is distinctly narrowly ridged and furrowed, sometimes with diamond-shaped patterns below. They have ovate leaflets, lower surfaces whitish, margins entire, varying to bluntly serrate. They are opposite in arrangement, pinnately compound, with usually 7 leaflets. The fruit is a narrow, single-seeded winged samara, usually blunt or notched at the apex. The spruce pine has hard bark, tightly furrowed and broken into small plates. Leaves occur in bundles of 2 and are soft, slender, and dark green. Fruits are ovulate, small cones, 5 to 10 centimeters long, borne in clusters of 2 to 3 on short stalks. Forest products of the Mesic hardwood forests include timber harvesting, and for trees like the eastern hop hornbeam and the American hornbeam, fence posts, tool handles, mallets, and other small articles. For the southern magnolia, furniture, boxes, cabinet work, and doors can be extracted. The loblolly pine, interior building material, veneers, pulpwood, and fuel wood. The pignut hickory is one of the main sources of hickory lumber, and the wood of the live oak can be used for structural beams, shipbuildings, and posts. As far as management is concerned for the Mesic hardwood forest, conservation land acquisition is practiced, ecosystem management practices, particularly restoration of natural fire and hydrological regimes, control and eradication of exotic species, and limits on grazing, development, and recreational uses. The San Velasco Hammock Preserve here in Gainesville is actually one of the most important Mesic hardwood forests. And so part of their management plan is to continue to monitor the hydrology and water quality of the preserve's major creeks. In summary, the Mesic hardwood community, along with other hardwoods, helps to maintain the atmosphere, regulate the climate, and contribute to regional rainfall. They help prevent runoff and water pollution. They help keep the soil soft, facilitating infiltration by rain and recharge of the aquifer, and they offer enjoyment and learning to people. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.